AS2727. We are now doing space stuff. We're watching space stuff instead of ocean stuff now. Well, I just watch whatever I want. You watch with me. And there's planets better than Earth. Oh. There's planets better than Earth, apparently. Apparently there's fresh water. And there's better oxygen. You know, the trees are more brown. That makes the air good. I don't know how I feel about this, being planets better than Earth. Like, okay, let's check these planets out. Dibs on the good one, am I right?
The Kepler telescope was built for one purpose: to look at a certain patch in the Milky Way in
Oh yeah, the Kepler telescope found it.
search of exoplanets. The exoplanet hunter observed over hundreds of thousands of stars and discovered thousands of exoplanets during its lifetime.
Whoa. Destiny.
Launched in 2009, as part of NASA's Discovery program, Kepler's job was to constantly scan a fixed patch of sky within our Milky Way galaxy to find planetary systems. At the time of the launch, it had the largest primary mirror ever sent into space, and it also had a 96 megapixel camera to process the light.
That's a lot of
Astronomers were
megapixels.
interested in finding out just how many stars have planets orbiting around them, and how many of these extrasolar planets or exoplanets have conditions.
Wait, I just want to say something. Is our sun, not the one we have, is our sun in the middle of the solar system? Like, is our sun in the middle of the Milky Way? Or is that just another sun? Are we like on the edge of it or something? Someone tell me, please. I'm curious.
That are suitable for life to develop. In its 9 years in space, Kepler observed 530,536 stars and confirmed the existence of 2,662 new exoplanets. These exoplanets are unlike anything we've ever seen in our solar system before.
Exoplanets are like
Most of
Earth?
them are significantly bigger than Earth and orbiting so close to their stars that they complete one revolution every several days. And there are some very strange worlds. Some have star-facing sides with temperatures
that's kind of fire, not gonna lie.
and have entire hemispheres covered with oceans of liquid molten rock. Other exoplanets the size
a
of
blue
Jupiter
sun.
orbit not one but two stars. If you were standing on the surface of one of these
Oh, that'd be
planets,
sick.
you'd
That'd
be
be
able
hot.
to see a binary sunset. But Kepler's legacy is that it successfully found
Look at that
Earth-sized
patch. Someone needs to
worlds
clean that up.
orbiting at a safe distance from their host stars inside what's known as a habitable zone or Goldilocks zone. This is where the temperatures are warm enough for water to condense on their surfaces, but not so
Why does that
cold
picture
that
look
it will
so
just
cool?
freeze up entirely.
What the
Although
fuck?
being in this zone doesn't guarantee the existence of life, the presence of water is significant and the foundation of life as
Hey,
we know it.
Earth is like on the right, just the right angle. You think if we move like a meter, bro, havoc. If we move a meter towards the sun, havoc. And if we move a meter
One
away,
such exoplanet discovered by Kepler that has recently generated excitement among researchers is called K2-18b.
oh,
In September 2019, two scientific teams independently announced that they found signs of liquid water in the planet's atmosphere.
Yes.
Situated 124 light-years away from Earth, K2-18b is about 8 times the mass of Earth and 3 times as big. It orbits a main sequence red dwarf star called K2-18.
midget.
A red dwarf star is the smallest, coolest star, and by far the most common type of star in the Milky Way. According to Kepler's data, astronomers estimate that 6% of red dwarf stars have an Earth-sized planet in the Goldilocks zone,
Yeah, that is
at
sick.
least in our neighborhood.
Why am I the only one who's getting ads? I swear I watch every other reaction video and they don't get ads. But I get ads. Oh, Mercedes, you don't need ads. Find your C-class, I want to find A-class.
To find water on the surface of one such planet is a landmark discovery in the search for potentially habitable alien worlds. K218b is also the first planet with water out of all of the exoplanets discovered
Water.
by Kepler in the
You get
habitable
ski
zone of
mask on that.
stars.
Water.
Kepler first discovered the planet in 2015, and since then its composition has been studied using other telescopes,
It looks like a...
like the Spitzer and Hubble Space Telescope. Kepler mainly used what's known as the transit method for exoplanet hunting. It essentially means that if a planet passes in front of a star, the light from the star dims slightly, and that's how we can tell that there's a planet there. The level of dimming and how long it lasts gives us important information about the size and orbit of the planet. However,
yes.
detecting the transit of an extrasolar planet is very
Oh,
challenging.
that's shots.
For
All these
example,
shots are
the
sick.
diameter of Earth is only 1/109 of that of the Sun. So, for an outside observer of the solar system, the passage of Earth would dim the output of the Sun by only 0.008%.
Fuck, we're small.
Kepler's
Jesus.
cameras
We need to
had
get
be
bigger.
sensitive enough to detect this
We're gonna
minute
expand.
change in the luminosity. Using the same method way back in 2014, Kepler first found a potentially habitable exoplanet. Kepler 186f ignited the imaginations of space nerds everywhere when NASA announced its discovery. Now a new study indicates the
Space nerds.
exoplanet, 500 light-years away, may also have seasons and a climate similar to our own.
Shorty, that
New
planet.
research out of
Australia,
Georgia Tech
we get that.
University has analyzed the planet's spin and axial tilt and found that its tilt is stable like Earth's.
Looks dirty.
Which makes it likely that Kepler 186f also has regular seasons and a stable climate. Similar research on the massive Kepler database is going on in
Kepler.
research universities all across the world. In fact, in recent years,
Oh
previous
my
Kepler findings that
God.
were rejected as
I could
potential
add all these photos to my wallpaper
precise
and it'll be
exoplanets
so
due
sick.
to algorithmic error are getting rediscovered. These false positives are now slowly being reanalyzed in conjunction with data from other telescopes.
Yeah.
One such planet is Kepler 1649c.
Why are they all called
In
Kepler
mid-2020, while combing through old Kepler data and matching it against new data from the Transiting Exoplanet Survey satellite,
give it a good
or
name,
TESS,
like
astronomers
Jonathan.
confirmed the
Like,
existence of another exoplanet with very favorable conditions for
Hey guys, it's an ad. Skip this fucking ad.
Kepler 1649c,
Okay, his
located
name's
300
Bob.
light-years from Earth, is very similar to Earth in size and estimated temperature. This newly revealed world is only 1.06 times larger than our own planet. Also, the amount of starlight it receives from its host star, which is also a red dwarf, is 75% of the amount of light Earth receives from our Sun. Meaning
Still a
the
bit
exoplanet's
cold, you
temperature
know, we'll
may be
probably
similar
freeze to
our
death.
planets as well. Kepler 1649c provides yet another example of an Earth-sized planet in the habitable zone of a red dwarf star. But before we get ahead of ourselves, it's important to note that out of the 2,662 exoplanets identified by Kepler, only 16 of them lie inside the Goldilocks zone.
Oh.
And out of these 16, some of these planets are tidally locked with their parent
We're gonna have
stars,
life!
meaning that only one hemisphere of the planet faces the star. And this is not ideal for life.
This is not
Others
ideal for
are
life.
more
There's
like a
no
smaller
life.
version of Neptune.
Wait, I'm not- wait.
Meaning that only one hemisphere of the planet faces the star, and this is not ideal for life. Others are more like a smaller version of Neptune than a larger version of Earth.
What about
And
Uranus?
planets similar to Neptune are expected to have a significant envelope of hydrogen surrounding any layer of water on the surface, with a planetary core of rock and iron. If the hydrogen
Isn't like what's that planet called again? Neptune. Isn't that just a ball of gas? You can't land on it or something? Like, can you? There's a planet where you can't land on it or something, and it's just like a ball of gas. I don't even know why I call it a planet if you can't land on the fucking thing. Just made of hydrogen or air, or oxygen. I don't know.
tend to be more
Fuck.
hydrogen envelope is too thick, the temperature and pressure of the water layer beneath would be far too great to support life. On top of all of this,
What if-
despite
what
being
if they
cooler,
adapt?
red dwarf stars tend to be more active than sun-like stars. Thus, the planets may be exposed to higher quantities of damaging ultraviolet radiation than
What if
we're used to
alien
here on
life
Earth.
is different to
Because of
our
this,
life? Doesn't have to support like Earth logic. It supports what their planet logic is. So any fucking planet can have their own life, supporting their own logic of their planet. Boom.
Temperatures can range between
I thought.
minus 100 and 116 degrees Fahrenheit, or minus 73 to 47 degrees Celsius.
That's
That
kind
means the
of hot
surface
and
could,
cold.
on average, be colder than Antarctica, or hotter than Earth's most blistering deserts.
Brrrr.
Unfortunately, we just don't have the
My spa's
technological
40
know-how to
degrees. I
study the
could survive
composition
that.
and atmospheres of these alien worlds and comprehensively answer all these questions yet. But don't despair. Based on the statistical analysis
Ooh,
of
that's
all the
a
Kepler
shot.
observations, astronomers now estimate that 1 in 5 stars like the Sun have planets about the size of Earth and a surface temperature conducive to life. Given that about 20% of stars are sun-like in our galaxy, that amounts to several billions
have a lot of
potential
stars.
habitable Earth-like planets just in our Milky Way alone.
Fuck.
Kepler not only focused its efforts in finding
Fuck.
potentially
They look.
habitable
The
planets,
stars look far
in fact,
away, but yet they're so close. But they look far away. I don't know. Sometimes
the
that's
bulk of its discoveries
That's a hard
were
shot.
strange worlds not suitable for life, but fascinating nonetheless. Like the gas giants, planets composed mostly of gases such as hydrogen and helium, with a
Yeah.
relatively small rocky core, also known as hot Jupiters. These planets orbit extremely close to their parent stars and are abundant in Kepler's data. One such fascinating example of a gas giant is KOI 5AB.
KOI
Astronomers
5AB.
first flagged KOI 5AB as a potential planet way back in 2009. At the time, this elusive alien world was only the second planet ever found by Kepler. It slipped through the cracks a decade ago. Firstly, due to the enormous amount of data that Kepler generated, and secondly, because astronomers noticed that the main KOI 5A star had another companion star, making analysis very difficult for them.
Is that
Indeed,
a rock?
the KOI 5 system was even more complicated than researchers realized at the time.
I've already watched this.
Drac, what's up?
Hey Drac, what's up?
By 2014, scientists had determined that the KOI 5 system actually harbors 3 stars. And
3.
it still wasn't clear if the planet KOI 5AB actually existed, or if the 2009 signal was generated by one
Don't
of the
make shit
companion
up. Stop
stars.
capping.
But thanks to
capping.
additional data from the TESS satellite, scientists were able to confirm the existence of KOI 5AB. Planetary bodies on stable orbits in a multi-star system is quite a rare find, and the discovery of KOI 5AB is expected to add a lot to our understanding of planetary formation. Other exoplanet types
Oh my
identified by
God, that
Kepler
looks
include
sick.
super-Earths. They're more massive than Earth, yet lighter than ice giants like
Whoa.
Neptune and Uranus, and can be made of gas, rock, or
What
a
the
combination
hell?
of both. Lava planets
Whoa.
are super dense, larger than Earth worlds in close, hot orbits around their parent stars.
Just call it a
Some of
sun.
them, known as Chthonian planets, are likely the remnant cores of evaporated hot Jupiters. And finally, Trojan planets.
You reckon you
planets
could
of their
survive like if you had like a lava planet next to like an Earth-like planet? You could survive. Like they have to be like really close though, like the moon. Like if it was like far away as our moon, will you think we could survive? We've oh, that'd be sick. A lava moon. So the moon's lava, and it's like nearly the same size as our thing, and it orbits around us just like this. I mean, like, bro, a planet could survive off that. Something could live there.
various size found in
think?
strange locations, and sometimes even as companions to larger planets, though none have been certainly identified yet.
Ugh.
Kepler was finally retired on the 30th of October 2018 as it ran out of fuel.
Wow. Now some
The telescope
alien
was
hippies got that
deactivated
thing.
with a good night command sent from mission control the next month. Coincidentally, Kepler's retirement fell on the 338th anniversary of Johann Kepler's death, after whom it's named.
I don't know.
Although
what
not
that
operational
is.
anymore, these incredible discoveries predict a near future in which astronomers will use new and advanced telescopes on the ground and in space to more deeply understand Kepler's numerous finds. One such telescope is already slated to go up into space in 2021.
Oh,
The
that's
James
this year.
Webb Telescope will take a much closer look at some of these Kepler objects of interest and hopefully will bring us closer to answering the question, are we alone in
Obviously
the universe?
not.
What do you think? Will
Okay, we're not alone. I watched the Impulsive thing with the alien guy who's doing like a documentary, And there's a lot of evidence that we're not alone. Watch it. I'm not gonna spoil any, just watch it.